Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Mikey's Saturday Nightmares. Sorry I didn't get a video put out last week. There's been a lot of sickness going through the house. Still trying to get over it. Still trying to recuperate. As you can see, I'm outside, filming outside, so you'll hear some cars go by, things of that nature. I apologize for that up front. So, what I wanted to talk about today is a classic horror, classic slasher film it came out on October 25th of 1978. And it was directed by the great John Carpenter, who has also directed such great films as The Thing, John Carpenter's Vampires, and They Live with the great Rowdy Roddy Piper. Rest in peace, Roddy. And we're going to talk, today's film we're going to talk about is, you guessed it, Halloween. The beginning of the whole slasher franchise, the whole genre itself, the trendsetter, we'll call it. So this film came out on October 25th, 1978, starring the great Jamie Lee Curtis, who played the role of Laurie Strode, and she also played in such films as Virus, the original Prom Night, and a little film with the great Arnold Schwarzenegger called True Lies. Now, Virus was an okay film. I really didn't care for it too much. I think Donald Sutherland was in that film as well. Him and Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, kind of held it together for what it was. But Prom Night and True Lies, great films. The film also stars the great Donald Pleasance, who played the character of Dr. Loomis. Rest in peace. And he also played in such films as Prince of Darkness, and that actually had a cameo in it from Alice Cooper, which is pretty cool. He also played a Bond villain in You Only Live Twice in 1967. And he also played in Escape from New York in 1981. Donald Pleasance had an amazing film career. He had done so much for, the entertainment business and showbiz. He's sorely missed. The film also stars P.J. Souls, who plays the character of Linda. She also played in Carrie from 1976, the one with Sissy Spacek, the original. She also played a little film called Rock and Roll High School from 1979, which is a classic comedy. I got it on DVD. I enjoy watching it every once in a while from time to time. It's a great film. And she also starred in Stripes with the great Bill Murray in 1981, which is also a great film. You can't go wrong with Bill Murray. Alright, so the plot for this film is, 15 years after murdering his sister on Halloween night in 1963, Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to the small town of Haddonfield, Illinois to kill again. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the classic trailer for Halloween from 1978. Here we go.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago. Michael?
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure. The only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
Okay, come on out.
Halloween. The night he came home.
All right, that was the trailer for the Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978. The budget for this film was $325,000. Gross worldwide was $47,173,315. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I mean, a lot of the stuff that happened in this film was new to people. There wasn't a lot of gore in the film by today's standards, but it was just something that people had not seen before and was unfamiliar with, and that's where the and it's John Carpenter. He knows how to scare the crap out of anybody. Let's be honest, right there. This film is, quite frankly, a horror masterpiece. This was the first, and without a doubt, one of the best in the franchise. Carpenter proves his ability to show great restraint in pacing the story slowly and building likable characters. Even though the blood and gore is non-existent in the film, it remains the scariest Halloween to date. It was the film debut of Jamie Lee Curtis and a defining point in the late great Donald Pleasance's career. It is an honest-to-God classic horror film. It's classic. This film solidifies itself as one of the greatest slasher films of all time. Not the greatest, but that's just my opinion, but one of the greatest slasher films of all time. Like I said, John Carpenter is able to build that suspense the way he wants to, and he knows how to use camera angles to his advantage to further escalate the situation to where it's not an expected jump scare. But for that time period, like I said, even though the blood and the gore was non-existent, this was still a fantastic, fantastic piece of art. So, a little bit of trivia here that we'll go over. John Carpenter considered the hiring of Jamie Lee Curtis as the ultimate tribute to Alfred Hitchcock, who had given Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, Janet Leigh, legendary status in Psycho in 1960. That's pretty cool. A lot of people may know this. The mask Michael wears is a 1975 James T. Kirk mask purchased for $1.98. It had the eyebrows and sideburns ripped off. It was then painted a bluish white, and the hair spray painted brown, and the eyes opened up a little wider. Of the female leads in the film, all the girls are supposed to be in high school. Jamie Lee Curtis was the youngest teenager at the time of shooting. She was 19 years old. And, a lot of films do that. They hire people that are older and have them play characters that are younger. And they think people don't recognize that or don't see that, but we do. We're not that stupid. But, you know, it doesn't hurt anything. We're just not that stupid, okay? Excuse me. Half of the $300,000 budget was spent on the Panavision cameras, so the film would have a 2.351 scope. Donald Pleasance was paid $20,000 for 5 days of work. Not bad for a week's work at all. I mean, especially when it's the great Donald Pleasance. Not bad at all, my friend. Robert Englund of the Nightmare on Elm Street film series revealed in an interview that John Carpenter had him throw bags of leaves on the set for 1 day. Wow, that's pretty cool. Robert Englund throwing leaves on the set of Halloween for John Carpenter. Well, I mean, you got to start somewhere, and, you know, where did he go to after that? Up. You know, Up. Another great icon in horror, Robert Englund. Excuse me. The dark lighting of the film comes from necessity. The crew didn't have enough money for more lights. So they just had to, like, space it out and space the lights out that they had to, you know, light up certain areas of the frame. Which, you know, that kind of added to the ambiance of the film, the creepiness of the film. Like I said, John Carpenter knew what he was doing when he made this film. He knew exactly what he was doing. Halloween was filmed in 20 days during the spring of 1978. The opening POV sequence took 2 days to film. So it was such a small scene, but it took 2 days to film. It kind of makes you wonder how long it actually takes to film a movie, barring no interference, no breakdowns, you know, no argument among cast members, no changing of writers or directors, you know. And some movies take up 3-4 months, maybe even a year, you know, depending on what they're trying to make, I guess. I have no idea. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Carpenter wrote the role of Linda for P.J. Souls after seeing her performance in Brian De Palma's Carrie from 1976. So, you know, apparently John Carpenter was a fan of Stephen King, and like, you know, liked P.J. Souls, her character in Carrie, so he signed her up for Halloween, which is fantastic. Fantastic. The movie that Tommy and Laurie are watching is The Thing from Another World in 1951. Carpenter went on to direct the remake in 1982. So, some pretty cool stuff here. Like I said, Halloween is a classic slasher film. It was a trendsetter. It started the whole slasher genre, and it's evolved. It has evolved and evolved and evolved. You know, there's video games out now that, you know, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, the game came out, and then it was taken down, but it's on a resurgence. So, you know, there's still people out there that enjoy this genre of horror films. So hopefully it'll continue. There'll be more made that are worth watching. So, you know, I'm hoping. It's one of my favorite genres other than, you know, monster movies, is the good old slasher film. So, you know, I'm hoping. Alright, so, with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for joining me as we discuss this classic from 1978. Like I said, I'm sorry I haven't been able to put out videos like I normally have been. Just a lot of stuff going on here. But there will be more videos to come out. I don't want to specify when and then not be able to do it, and, you know, and that kind of thing. So I will post a notification the day before or maybe even 2 days before, I post the next video on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified when these videos come out, and you'll be able to see the posts that I make on the channel. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all so much.